Now, the next video that I had on my list to watch was this one. Schedule 1 is cancelled. Exactly the game that I am planning to play for a little while at least tonight. So I'm kind of wondering what's going on with this. What's going on with the game and what's the future of it? Is it gonna get removed from Steam or what's gonna happen? Make this bigger. Let's put myself. I don't even know where. For now, I'm gonna cover chat. The chat there. Now let's see.
Welcome. We've got a very funny start to the week here. You know that game Schedule 1? You may have heard of it. Very successful indie game that launched a few weeks ago.
By the way, this
game
has probably sold over This game has probably sold more copies than Assassin's Creed Shadows.
You get to play as a drug dealer, and yeah, it's
most likely
yes. Well, it's coming under fire from the activists, the modern audience activist sort of people. So that's always hilarious. We're going to take a look at a gaming journalist article on The Gamer, why they're mad at this game, and also a post over
I feel like they need to get sued. Because, like, how do you have a website called The Gamer, but it's all about social activism? You're not a fucking gamer. That's false advertising. It's not fair.
Reddit. And really quick update on the VTuber
Sued by
a few weeks ago, maybe like a month ago at this point. Probably not a month, maybe like 3 weeks. But I mentioned I have this VTuber model that I've had for like a few years now, which I think some of you already know about, of course. But most people probably don't because I never really use it. Never get a chance to stream.
VTuber models are unnecessary for males. The only VTuber model... Now, if you want to do a VTuber model as a girl, but it has big tits, it's okay. But there's no need for a male VTuber model. I know some people do it. Even one of my mods, I think, does it. But we really just want to see the big titties.
Fit in my schedule. And I want to start using
so
videos here and there. I think that would be
a male VTuber with a female VTuber model. Then
fun and help to add more content to the channel. And so we're going to start with this one actually.
That's a turtle.
See how it goes. Quality assurance and all that great stuff. And the outlet The Gamer, which we're going to hop over to in just a second. You remember this outlet, right? Always appealing to the modern audience types. They were like constantly propping up Dragon Age the Veilguard, for example.
Of course.
Even writing an article titled, "How much of the internet's vitriol against Dragon Age the Veilguard feels manufactured?"
Enough for it to kill the game and the studio and cause layoffs.
Oh yeah, because people genuinely disliking this game. That can't be a thing, right? Like it's got to be manufactured. It's got to be fake. Get out of here. Yeah, that's The Gamer. So, VTuber jump scare in 3, 2, 1. And there we go. Okay, wow. Definitely crazy. What a change of pace, huh? So, their outlet from, their article.
This is incredibly racist.
6 hours ago. This article from 6 hours ago on The Gamer.
It's incredibly racist.
Schedule 1
incredibly
comes...
racist. Schedule 1 comes under fire for
under
one of
fire.
its achievements. I love how they picked this image to go at the very top. Like, yeah, you gotta...
Because it's the only... It's the black person, right? So it's the implication.
Gotta show the cop body searching the characters and call it racist, huh?
The game was only made by one person. What's the expectation here?
Achievement in Schedule 1. Social media, they mean like all of
that he's gonna care about all of this stuff
No, it was
when
60.
he's creating the game?
There were 60 people that were mad about this. Like, there were dozens of people who were unhappy about this change. I honestly, I think the whole world needs to change now. There are dozens of people furious.
Connotations. The achievement is the only one in the game specifying a race, rooted in a history of harmful stereotypes against indigenous people, an indigenous streaming group.
The first step is to look at an achievement in a video game. The second step is to laugh at the achievement, and the third step is to kill the minorities the achievement is a joke about. That's how it works, right, guys? I thought, okay, yeah, exactly.
stands for the removal
Yeah.
or renaming of the
Duh.
achievement to promote respect and inclusivity.
say it
Inclusivity
out
in
loud.
games, excuse me.
You don't want to
Here
give
we
away
go.
our tricks.
A little before it reaches its 1-month anniversary, calls online have begun for Schedule 1 to change the name of its achievements.
I hate these people so much because the calls online, it's 2 people. This is like saying that there's a protest at like, a different area, and the protest consists of 5 crackheads and 1 activist that paid the crackheads. That's it.
Due to one of its achievements, due to racist connotations. The achievement was first noted by Twitter user Crow, who, we're going to take a look at that in a second, who tagged the game's creator and said, "I'm loving the game, but can you remove this achievement? It's incredibly racist. The only achievement specifying a race." Oh my gosh. Yeah, here's the tweet. You can see the Crow show. We already read the tweet on the article, but here's the tweet itself.
59 likes, bro.
Okay.
59 likes. You write an article about something with 59 likes, trying to change the entire game to push a fucking narrative to get people to believe this shit. It is with 40, 60 comments. Well, yeah, every comment is calling this guy a retard. Everybody hates him.
Let's take a look at the comments. We've got Shanna
So at
Lake
least we
saying,
found
"Thank
out
you for bringing attention to this."
pretty shortly
not
in the
someone who
video
works
that
on the
it's
game.
not getting cancelled.
Oh, jeez.
Or anything, I don't think. This is a voice actor. Yeah, that's English voice actor, huh? That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Pixel Kitten. Oof. What else we got here?
2 caterpillar Karens. That's what it is. And you got to understand what these people are. These girls, these young girls on social media that are trying to tell everybody what to do, they will one day evolve into a butterfly that screams at a Starbucks barista. Whenever they're like 47 or something like that, and like the current SSRIs they're on, they stop working, and so they have like a pop off. They will evolve.
Yeah, sure.
Why are people this easily offended on behalf of someone else as well, playing games about selling drugs and shooting people?
Because
I totally missed this, by the way. Look at this one. Crow responded to the person who said, "Oof."
This isn't even a
He's
final
like,
form.
"Yeah, I'm not sure what decade we're in, but I was shocked when I saw that. Oh, I was shocked, guys. I was like traumatized." Like, bro,
What? I was. Oh, shut the fuck. What are you talking about? Shocked. Who is this guy?
get over yourself. I burst out
Yes.
laughing when I saw this achievement. What an insufferable take. This other person also tags Tyler in Schedule 1 game, saying, also loving the game. Please don't cater to these fragile dorks that fall over themselves to virtue signal something that has zero impact on their lives. But of course,
And I bet this is my opinion. I think that I have to say it. I think that the reason why guys make posts like this, it's like putting honey out for bees. And so like they're trying to attract these caterpillar Karens because a lot of them are hot. And the reason why a lot of them are hot is because guys put up with their stupid bullshit. It's the same reason why hot girls are into crystals and horoscopes. It's because no guy wants to tell this girl that's like a 9 out of 10 that this crystal magic isn't real because that might hurt his chances. So it's the same thing with this stuff. A lot of the reason why these girls are hot is because nobody wants to tell them that they're full of shit. So that's the reason why these guys post it. They're white knight. No, I'm just being honest, right? You always say this. I do. And this is just another variation of it.
over at The Gamer, these journalists, they definitely think this is a very serious issue. Continuing with their article, they say, Crow's tweet was then followed up by Indie Horror Squad on social media,
Oh
who
my
released
God.
a lengthy statement. We love Schedule 1 and how creative it is, but we need to address something. One of the achievements in the game.
We need to. This has to happen. The level of like narcissism and self-importance that these people have is actually, to me, it's kind of impressive that somebody can be this fucking delusional.
The thing is, I'm pretty sure the developer doesn't even care and can probably remove the achievement without any issues.
It's a game about it's a game about selling weed and meth, getting people addicted to drugs, killing them, and then selling drugs as well to everybody in a town, including cocaine
Hey,
and
Desi,
methamphetamine. Like, we're not talking about just
how's
smoking
it
weed,
going?
right? Like, I've seen those pictures of like the mug shots. Everybody you can tell that they're on meth because they have less teeth than I do. Well, that's not true. They have about the same amount of teeth that I do. That's bad.
Indian dealer is based on the harmful phrase Indian giver. This term is rooted in a long history of racism and stereotypes against indigenous people. Even if the intent wasn't malicious, the impact still matters. Words like
No, it doesn't. No, nobody cares.
these reinforce false narratives and cause harm, especially when
Again, the first thing you do is you read this. You read this achievement. The next thing you do is you go out and you kill people. That's right.
Yeah,
See, the
I
entire
finally
idea of
found the
causing
time to
harm
stream again.
is I think, very damaging when you're referring to something that is not physical at all. There's a lot of words that you can use.
It's
that
nice to see you
are
around as
more
well.
accurate, but they refuse to use those words because they want the emotional connotation of physical violence and physical danger.
normalized in games we love. This is the only achievement in Schedule 1 tied to racist language. We're asking the developers to please consider removing or renaming this achievement. And yeah, once again, we can see this tweet from Indie Horror Squad.
Well, I don't know if anybody put 2 on top of 2 here, right? But like, let's go ahead and just think about this just for a second.
Exactly, dude. And I think since Prince of Persia, I haven't even played anything that much. At least also on YouTube, all of the videos that I'm uploading, they're all like games that I've played previously. A lot of stuff going on with work and been busy.
So the main girl that was responding and complaining about this on the first post is the one that's making, because look, she's even got it in her name. She's the one that runs this. So it's really just 2 people agreeing with each other. Yeah, it's the same person. Like, I remember back in the day when you get caught up, it used to be called same frogging, I think. I think that was the term. And people would make fun of you for this. But now it's called activism.
This is the only achievement in Schedule 1 tied to racist language. We're asking the developers to please consider removing or renaming this achievement. And yeah, once again, we can see this tweet from Indie Horror Squad.
The same
Indigenous
group.
gamers, horror lovers, Twitch streamers, content
Now I want to play this this game called Schedule 1, and I'm watching Asmongold's videos about it. Saying that it's getting cancelled, but it's not. It's just some stupid controversy again, because that's all that Asmongold posts.
Let's take a look at some of the responses here at the top. Reading, look at the views to likes on these tweets. They respond saying, "Your point? All I see is that more people should care about what we are saying. Indigenous issues are often less engaged with."
Everybody should care about your problem. Why? Because we've decided that. Indigenous issues are often less engaged with. What are you talking about? What issue? What is this? It's been brought to your attention. You've used the term rooted in racism. Why not remove it? It looks like a W for the people, for players that don't like it. I really don't understand. So here's what the problem is. So I want to...
Let me turn on the light because I'm almost fading.
I want you to understand what the problem is and why a lot of people are tired of this. Because what you're talking about is you are making a good faith approach to a problem that is not being presented in the same way. So here's really what's going on here. These are people who are trying to inject their worldview, to inject their social agenda, and inject their perspective on things into another group of people and tell them what to do. On a very fundamental level, they are injecting themselves into somebody else's art and telling them that you need to change your art because we are emotionally guilt-tripping you into doing this. The fact is that I don't think that a lot of people care about this, but what I do think a lot of people care about is art being neutered, censored, and nerfed in order to prevent anybody from being offended. So what I see happening with any sort of capitulation to these people is that video games like Schedule One become increasingly more sterile. You no longer have people becoming addicted begging you for drugs. You no longer have sales of types of drugs that could be considered politically incorrect. And you have these people breathing down your neck and trying to add and control your creative process because it's not confiding or it's not coherent with what their worldview is. So the problem isn't necessarily in doing it. And also, by the way, what's the problem with a racist joke? I grew up in a time where we had tons of movies that had racist jokes in them all the time. And I grew up watching the Chappelle Show. Why are we acting like this racist joke is somehow a big issue when almost everybody here has grown up watching shows and watching content that has all kinds of racial jokes in it constantly? And I think that what you need to understand is that a lot of the reasons why people laugh at racial jokes is because that they're silly. It's not because they believe them. Yeah, you have some people that do that, definitely. But that's the minority. The fact is that a lot of things like that, people can get together and laugh at these jokes because of how ridiculous they are. And that's the reason why. I think that there is a dramatic pushback that people have to these self-proclaimed internet activist groups who have decided that they are now the arbiter of what's acceptable to be discussed and said on the internet, and then they want to bully people into saying what they want them to say. I think that's unfair. And so I understand your point of view,
Ce mă,
but
nu m-am
if
mutat la
you give them
nimic.
an inch,
La
they'll
ce
take
să
a
mă mut?
mile, and we're 10 miles down the road, and I'm sick of going. That's the way I feel about it. To be fair, it's the only racist joke in the game. Feel free to add some more so it looks like everybody else gets a ribbing. It doesn't matter whether a lot of people get a ribbing or not. It's just their option. I understand the impulse to reject people who are trying to use history as a weapon to hit you, but I don't know. I think the devs should be taking a W by changing it by saying happy. Now, the messenger isn't great, but it shouldn't affect the message.
Sunt și pe
There's
Twitch.
nothing wrong with it. It's just a joke.
Sunt și pe Twitch și pe YouTube, mă. În același timp. Te referi la chestiile la care mă uit? Da, păi n-am cum să mă uit la același clip. Să mă uit la chestii diferite. Și o să mă joc și Schedule 1 mai încolo. Da, știu că e oprit.
That's the entire premise. It's just a joke. Nobody's getting hurt. It's a joke. Why do things need to change because you don't think it's funny? Like, so now everything has to change. Like, there is somebody out there who has literally had somebody die because of meth, right? This is the same thing that happened with the coffin of Andy and Laylee. People always want to censor and remove things that they don't like. No. Stop interfacing with things that make you mad and stop trying to make the world accommodate you. Jokes can offend people, though? Yeah. And so that's really the difference. It's not even a joke. It's a turn of phrase. Yeah, it's just a phrase. You can literally lace people in the game. Some people cannot be taught. They're sad. Well, what I'm saying is that's my viewpoint on a lot of this stuff. It's very exhausting. And I'm just saying the indigenous group has a point. Well, it's not super deep, but the censorship thing colors the whole situation. They have a point that it's racially term. Of course it's a racial term. It's obvious that it's a racial term. Everybody knows it's a racial term. That was the joke. That's the whole point. I would rather live in a world where you can tell racial jokes than not. Period. Yeah, I'd rather live in a Tropic Thunder world than a tone policing Karen world. I don't want to listen to them. I don't want them telling me what to do. I don't want them anywhere near content that I'm enjoying because they ruin it. The entire premise of this is built off of division. But the truth is that every guy can come together and laugh at these racial stereotypes, and they can still be friendly with each other.
Ce? Nu înțeleg întrebarea. Păi dacă fac stream pe ambele în același timp, nu e normal că e același clip? E aceeași... Fac stream la același ecran. Pe ambele. Și pe Twitch și pe YouTube. Așa că n-ai cum să vezi ceva diferit. Okay, I'm continuing with the clip anyways.
Weird Karens and weird people that never had friends in high school don't understand this. If you weren't popular, you didn't have any friends, you were isolated and made fun of, you don't understand the way that people usually interact. But if you were a normal person and you, like, I mean, for me, right?
Okay, this conversation
there
is
is something I
deviating
can get
from
into
the
this
subject quite a lot.
How is Schedule
Let's continue
1
that video.
romanticizing anything? Like, what the frick? It's like an extremely
I'm
not
gonna be honest, like when that music hits and I'm cooking meth,
Yeah, sure, buddy.
Excuse me. This is so unfortunate to learn about because
bro,
I've really been.
same with the Trop. Another fucking Karen. See, this is no, bro. Get this the fuck out of my life. Oh my god. There it is. Yes.
She's
Tropic
not in your
Thunder
life.
Steve? Yes.
It's not
Do I
bothering you
spot
at
the
all.
graph? No, I don't. Tropic Thunder was where humor and comedy peaked. Everything before that was building to it. Everything after that was a decline.
Loving the game. I hope this has changed quickly. Replying
This
for the
needs-
algorithm as much
This
sharing as
needs to go. It needs nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to happen at all. Because the implication with that is this, again, a narcissistic perspective that your needs need to be met. No, they don't. They don't matter. You don't matter.
possible. Would love to see this corrected, shared, commented, linked. Get the word out there, y'all.
And you can see also all three of these Caterpillar Karens every fucking time. It's crazy how many times it's great. How does it happen? How has it happened? How am I right so many times? How is this news?
Boosting this post.
I'm not going to say the race of the doctor. Yeah.
Like, comment, save, share. Take and look at some of the quote tweets we've got. This is extremely disappointing. I hope the developers learn something from this moment and change the name of this achievement immediately.
Should be more like conflicted dweeb.
I hope that Tyler in Schedule 1 game can see the replies to us just bringing this up and see the types who are supporting leaving messaging like this in a game. Brings out the worst of the anonymous racist cowards who think being 47
If those posts would get more interactions, he probably would care, but at this point.
And all my friends think that too. We have a lot of fun. Yeah. Get mad all you want, but that's exactly it. Yeah, no, I have tons of fun talking about shit like that. Absolutely. Indian is a nationality, not a race. They're talking about, I think, I don't know the details. I think they mean Native American, but yeah.
Quote tweets go on and on. And I think
And this is a, yeah, bro, like, and you can see, there's also drug effects that changes a character's skin color and gender. I'm not comfortable supporting someone who thinks it's okay to make jokes like that. So is this person against this is Ouroboros, bro. This is an actual Ouroboros moment. Does this mean that you're against trans? Like, is this transphobic? Like, how is this? Oh my!
Achievement, but we at The Gamer have reached out for comment.
This is how media creates the apparatus and the facade of authority. Is that they create a problem, they identify the problem, and then they appoint themselves as the arbiter of the solvers of the problem. And that way they create a need for themselves. And the way that Black Myth Wukong and Game Science handled this was a masterclass. They said, bitch.
The indigenous streaming group says it believes in learning and growing together, wanting to make games more respectful and inclusive. Provided a resource for those who want to learn more about the term don't be an Indian giver. The creator of Schedule 1 has yet to speak on the Steam achievement, but we at The Gamer have reached out for comment. And then it
Shut the fuck
says
up. We're
about the
here to
game.
talk about monkeys. That's how you handle it. The way you beat them in this game is you don't play.
Yes, this is the very serious state of activism in the current year. But
Why are they always white kids? Because they're the only ones that are privileged and white guilted enough in order to think that they're the savior of this other group of people. That's the reason why. See, like, have you guys ever noticed, like, all of these, like, anti-racist groups and these people, like, the social justice groups, a lot of them are just, like, a bunch of... It's exhausting.
About there being some racist/transphobic jokes in the game.
Some seem to be achievement names and very small reference.
Oh my god. What's wrong with these people? They're upper middle class white liberals. I don't know what we can do. Overtly. And all of these people...
I'm not sure how far in advance the sessions have been recorded, but thought it might be
It's
worth
not a
mentioning.
joke? Well, for Tesla, it's not.
In case that's something the boys would want to edit out. So yeah,
The
I'm not
boys
familiar
would
with
wanna
these
edit out.
YouTubers at all.
One of the very first customers you get is Peterfile, lowbrow humor. Seems to be the whole game's premise. Yeah. Yep. That's right.
Films, and I went to look for that post that they allegedly made, but I
Peter
couldn't find it.
File.
It was deleted or something, or I just couldn't find it.
That's pretty
I checked out my
funny.
Twitter, YouTube community post, and also Blue Sky. And then we've got some responses here. Let's see. I mean, one of the very first customers you can get is named Peter File. Lowbrow humor seems to be almost the whole game's premise. The OP saying, lowbrow is one thing, and I don't have an issue with it at all. It's just when it drifts into harmful tropes that it feels a bit off.
99% of lowbrow humor is harmful tropes. Okay? Like 99%. Like, what are we talking about?
We live in the most progressive era of all time. It's about time people started to realize that intent and context is all that matters. Hat films are not transphobic, so no jokes they share have ill intent. And the OP responding once again saying, my post absolutely wasn't meant as a dig at the boys. One of the things that I really appreciate about them is how inclusive they are. It was merely meant to make them aware of stuff in the game that they might not be aware of, that could put out the wrong kind of vibe. I know
This would never happen if you could give kids swirlies in school. Like, if you could get bullied in high school, this would never happen. Reddit, a subreddit for a video game complaining about an achievement if these are white people.
Wikipedia says it is based on cultural misunderstandings that took place between the early European colonists and the indigenous people with whom they traded. Personally, I have heard the term Indian giver, but never realized it has pejorative connotations. The OP saying, that was one of the examples I saw in that thread, yeah. Okay, so it's a Reddit thread. Maybe I can find that then. We'll take a look after this if I can find it. And this response saying, who cares? It's all in jest.
Yeah, it's a joke.
But the OP says, the people being joked about in demeaning ways might care, while intent...
I don't care about them. Fuck them.
I mean, you don't, but someone might, so.
Yeah, fuck them.
does matter. Excusing stuff is
pretty
just
easy.
in jest.
Simple.
Can lead to some pretty nasty
Yeah.
ideas being normalized in the long run. And then we've got this exchange, which also explains why they're accusing it of being transphobic. Reads, I noticed while watching YouTube shorts that there was an effect on one of the strains of bud, that said, generizing. And of course it changed the smoker's gender. Because apparently, of course, Caitlyn Jenner is the first thing people think of when they think of anything trans.
Well, yeah, because Caitlyn Jenner is probably the most famous trans person. Like, I bet if you think of black guy, a lot of people think of Barack Obama. Sure. Or LeBron James, somebody like that. Yeah, Kanye West, Michael Jordan. Yeah.
Community at the moment, but I still... But the OP says, mocking / joking about everyone equally only really works if everyone's on equal... Got -7 downvotes. Let me know what you think about all this stuff in the comments, and I hope you enjoyed this segment. Hope you enjoyed the video.
It's just an achievement now.
And if you did enjoy
I mean,
please
I'm
consider
sure the
liking and/or
developer
subscribing
would
to the
remove
channel.
it.
Appreciate you. See you in the comments and in the next one.
I cannot even express how much
Comments?
I hate this. I hate this for the fact that they're trying to push for it. I hate this relate to their demands. How much I hate this. I will link you guys the video. This actually, like, I hate to say it. I really hate to say it, guys. But I'm a little bit triggered. I'm triggered that they are talking about this. This is upsetting me.
Right, that was a bit of clickbait. Schedule 1 is not cancelled, and it's just a bunch of random posts that were made into a video. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, like I said, the developer wouldn't even mind removing some of these or renaming some of these. He probably didn't even think about it when he was making them.